In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Deplike guitar app on iPad or iPhone. I've been asked by the developers to see if I can create a Brian May guitar sound using this app. Now, to plug the guitar into the iPad, I'm just simply using an iRig adapter. I did a video on how to plug your guitar into your iPad or iPhone, so check that one out if you're unsure as to how to do that. But simply that's going to plug into the iPad. Use that adapter depending on what type of iPad you're using and then what the connector. If you've got the newer one, you'll need the little adapter there. So I'll plug that in, plug the guitar jack into the iRig adapter. For the purposes of this, I want to be screen recording what's going on. So to hear what's going on, I need my trusty headphones. Now, a lot of people make a mistake with these apps and try to run them through a guitar amp. As you say, it sounds messy and horrible. These apps are ideal if you haven't got a guitar amp and you're traveling or you don't want to have to use a guitar amp, and it's got the portableness. If you want to hear it, what's going on, I like to run this through my old 1990s Iowa hi-fi, and you get more, because it's neutral, it isn't going through a guitar amp, just it's a signal being amplified. You get more of the true sound of the app itself. So I'm going to screen record what's going on. The app, and that's the first thing that we see. I wanted to do this review kind of just going in at it cold without actually having any preconceived ideas, instead of spending hours learning how to use it and then trying to do a review. So I've had a brief run through so that I kind of know what I'm talking about, hopefully. So we've got this set up, we've got our noise gate, which is always handy to have, so if you get a lot of noise you turn the dial up and it kind of takes things out. We've got this overdrive. Now that, if you want like this amp, obviously I don't want this amp in, so if I keep my finger pressed on it and put it in the bin, what I can do is add new, and if I go to cabinets, I change the cabinet, I can have a Fox one, which I would imagine is Vox. So I have a Fox cabinet. For guitar amps, if I go to amplifiers, you see a whole range. Oh, I'll do that again. A 5550, I would imagine, was an Eddie Van Halen amp, or bass type amp, which is handy if you're a bass player. We have a lot of different types here, and you can see what they're replicating. A tangerine, which I would imagine is an orange. Acoustic amp. So you've got a whole range here that we're not going to go into because we haven't got time. But choose a Fox. I'm going to turn the treble up on that a bit. And maybe turn the gain up on that a touch. Now that we have a delay here, when I looked through it, the delay, it didn't have, you've got that kind of, which is not going to get you the Brighton Rock sound. You get similar-ish, but not exactly what you want. Now I don't want that anymore, so I'm going to put that in the bin. So I now have, if I turn the tone up on that distortion, it's not exactly the same as Brian, but it is just an app. Sometimes the tests with these apps is sometimes you'll find that the signal dies quite quickly. So if you've got something like this and we hit a chord, so that's lasting quite nicely. If we do it with a single note, dies. So, but that's quite a decent signal length of time. Not as good as a guitar amp, but we're not dealing with guitar amps, we're dealing with an app here, which is replicating. And sometimes that's a good thing to remember, where it is replicating real gear. So it's never going to be exactly the same. But this, I think that sounds That's a pretty good rock sound. There's a lot of different types of overdrives on this, so I'll keep my finger held on that, put that in the bin, try something else. If we click on distortion, we have an OD808, a classic creamy overdrive with 20 dB boost. That overdrive's got a lot more boost, as it says it does, which you would want for a Brian May sound. Got a tone, that's going to overdrive if I turn it to, so take the balance down a little bit. It's too much. So I've just using the presets and not altering it that much. So on that, all we're using is a Fox amp in this overdrive, and straight away that's quite a decent sound. We can add a little bit of, go to modulation, we've got a chorus. I'll turn the mix down because we're getting a bit of feedback there. That's where your noise gate comes in handy. If you turn it up, it can take the noise out. Set the speed down a bit. Quite liking the sound of that. Now, like you say, if we took that distortion away, so keep that one in mind, that we like that one. We've got, go back to distortion, Metalhead. Turn the left, too much feedback. Turn it down. Put the distortion up. Put the volume up because I've got quite a sound that's a bit thicker of the sound. I want to put that back in the bin and go back to the one that I liked, which was that one. And when I've gone back to that, it seems to have kept the same setting as I was using before, which is handy to know. Now we've got reverb. If I stick a bit, you've got the different ones. You've got this just the reverb. We've got Rode stereo effect with epic reverb. Will fire your dreams to get on stage. I don't know, that sounds quite a big a big brag, but I'm just going to go with a normal. Now at this point we're getting feedback, so I'm going to go with the noise gate. There you go, and that's cut that off, so that's handy to know. That's room size, you can hear that. I can take it when extreme. That's quite a good, decent reverb, but I don't want it that damp. Put that up, see what sounds extreme. of different options. If we look through on delay and echo, we've got the delay pedal, which we looked at before. There's a tape delay. There's an equalizer, which could come in handy if you're trying to round the sound out, but I would want to spend a little bit more time with that. Where were we? Now there's a flange gum. Gives you classic flange or spacey trippy madness. By the design on that, I'm imagining that's more of a Eddie Van Halen type thing. Going on, got phase shifter, auto wah. Now an auto wah can come in quite handy. You've got a nice raspy. It gives you that when you use a wah. One of the tricks for getting a Brymere sound was if you set the wah like half setting, it gives it that like a throaty sound. So that's quite handy to be able to. Again, I'm running through this quite quickly, and you could spend a lot more time with it. Go add new back there. We have the flanger. Which is very 80s. Almost sounds like off the Nevermind album. Take the rates down. Again, we could play around with that and probably perfect it a little bit more. If you want to put that in the bin, there you go. And what else have we got? We had the equalizer. There's a sustainer there, compressor. We've got the delay, flanger, chorus, phase shifter, Dizzy Lobster, the iconic tremolo product of Deplike. The name tells you everything. So there's a whole range of different things, and I think all in all, I quite like this. So let me know what you think in the comments. Would you use this one? And as always, thank you for watching.